All right, let's talk about Los Angeles. With the 2028 Olympics barreling towards us, the whole world is about to be watching. And right now, there's this huge debate happening over the city's cinematic soul. We're going to dig into this viral idea about bringing back a fan-favorite theater chain and ask a pretty tough question. Is our nostalgia for what we lost actually blinding us to a much, much bigger opportunity? Let's get into it.
If you live in LA, you've seen this. You've probably even felt it. This plea to bring back Arclight cinemas is, well, it's everywhere. And look, it comes from a real place, right? A deep nostalgia for that premium movie lover experience that so many of us really, really miss. The feeling is powerful, and it's totally understandable.
But here's the thing. What if this massive emotional wave, this thing we all want so badly, is actually a huge mistake? What if focusing all our energy on reviving a multiplex brand from the 2000s is a massive strategic error, not just for the owners, but for the entire city of Los Angeles? To really get why, we need to push past the warm, fuzzy memories for a second. And, well, we need to do a quick autopsy on the Arclight business model. Why did it really fail? The answer isn't just the pandemic. It was baked right into the company's DNA from the start. Just look at this number. $181,900.40. That was the unpaid rent bill for one single month at just one of their locations. This one number tells you everything you need to know about the fatal flaw in their model. They were completely dependent on insanely expensive leases in fancy shopping centers. And this chart lays out the problem perfectly. Arclight was stuck in the leasing trap. All that money was just pouring out the door to landlords, creating zero long-term value. It's the classic difference between renting and owning, right? One is a liability, a constant drain. The other is an asset that builds wealth and a real legacy. They were trying to build a kingdom on someone else's land. So, if rebuilding another generic box in a mall is the wrong play, what's the alternative? Well, it turns out the very same company that owned Arclight is, right now, sitting on a sleeping giant, a true cathedral of cinema, just waiting for someone to wake it up. Everybody, meet the Hollywood Pacific Theater. It's a jaw-dropping 1928 masterpiece. It was the first theater in Hollywood actually built for movies with sound. And here's the unbelievable part. It's owned by the exact same people who ran Arclight, and they've let it sit empty and neglected for decades, right there on Hollywood Boulevard. And this table just makes the choice so incredibly clear. On one side, you have an owned, irreplaceable historic landmark that's a global tourist magnet. On the other, a leased, cookie-cutter box in a local mall. You see, investing in the Pacific isn't about nostalgia. It's just a fundamentally smarter business strategy that builds real, actual value over time. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wait, restoring a massive historic theater must cost an absolute fortune. And yeah, it does. But what most people have no idea about is that there's this incredible financial toolkit available exclusively for projects just like this, and it makes the whole thing way more possible than you think.
Let's just walk through it real quick. Step 1, a 20% federal tax credit. That's a direct discount off the top. We're talking millions of dollars. Step 2, California has a special, more flexible building code for historic spots that saves a ton of money on meeting safety rules. And Step 3, the Mills Act, which can slash local property taxes by up to 60%. And here's the key. You can't use any of these powerful tools on a new build-out in a mall.
Okay, beyond the money, this is where it starts to matter for everyone in Los Angeles, especially right now. With the 2028 Olympics coming, this is our chance. Historic rehab projects are way more labor-intensive. A much bigger chunk of the money, like 65%, goes directly into wages for local, skilled workers. This isn't just about saving a building. It's a perfect engine for creating good-paying jobs, right now putting Angelinos to work to get our city ready for the world stage. And hey, this isn't just some theory, okay? This idea of bringing back old theaters is a proven success. It's happening all over LA. Let's look at 3 recent, huge examples that literally give us the blueprint for how to do it right. First up, the retail flagship model. Look at what Apple did with the Tower Theater downtown. They didn't just open another store. They painstakingly restored a 1927 movie palace and turned it into a global destination. The building's history is the brand's value.
Next, you've got the Prestige platform. See, in the age of streaming, all these digital companies are desperate for a real-world footprint. Netflix dropped $70 million to restore the Egyptian theater to its original glory. Why? To host their biggest premieres. It gives their brand a kind of magic that an algorithm just can't.
And finally, the hospitality anchor.
The incredible United Theater on Broadway was brought back to life as the cultural heart of a new boutique hotel. The theater itself drives everything: the hotel bookings, the bar, the restaurant. It's the economic engine of the whole project. So what this shows us is that there are multiple, proven, and really profitable ways to bring these cathedrals back. Whether it's for retail, for brand building, or for hospitality, these strategies work. They create real, tangible value, unlike the failed multiplex model of just paying rent. And that brings us to the final choice, the big picture. All these different threads, the bad business model, the historic buildings, the job creation, they all lead us to this one critical moment for Los Angeles. In just a few short years, the eyes of the entire planet will be on us. So what version of LA do we want to show them? Are we going to be a city that celebrates its unique, incredible history, or one that's settled for the same generic stores you can find in any city in the world? This quote from the source material just says it all perfectly. The real opportunity isn't to be a landlord in a leased mall. The true calling, the real legacy, is to be a guardian of the irreplaceable palaces that literally tell the story of Hollywood. And so we end with this question. It's a choice between two very different futures. One is rooted in the authentic, irreplaceable soul of this city, and the other is rooted in the disposable culture of yesterday. The answer is going to define the landscape and the legacy of Los Angeles for generations to come.